stay with matters around the ANC. The party says the Political Party Funding Act has hamstrung their ability to pay staff salaries. They want the act to be changed so they can raise money more easily. Meanwhile, staffers at Luthuli House have downed tools over unpaid salaries. Let's get word from the workers now. We're joined by ANC Staff Representative Committee member Mandla Qwane. Mr. Qwane, thank you so much for joining us. It's not the first time you and I have spoken about the non-payment salaries. How much are people owed and from when does this date back? Where are we currently?
Good evening to you, Sally, and the viewers of eNCA. And again, let us thank this opportunity you are giving us, or thank you for having us. You are right. This is not the first time we're having this conversation, and it's beginning to be old news, but the situation is not changing. Perhaps what we, as staff members of the ANC, we must say to the people of South Africa and yourselves here that the situation has worsened over time. Nothing seems to be changing. We're still sitting with a problem of salaries. We're still sitting with a problem of provident fund that's not paid. We're still sitting with a problem of medical aid that is continuously suspended, reinstated, at times suspended again. These are some of the few matters that we have raised in our memorandum as early as June last year. And none of these matters have been attended to in an adequate manner, and that is why you find us here.
Yeah, and I suppose, you know, the ANC is saying, well, we just don't have enough money because we're not able to raise money easily because of the new Political Party Funding Act. Do you have sympathy for that explanation?
Look, that explanation, like I said earlier, it's one of those things that I call old news. We have had this before, and we debuted it by saying these problems started as early as 2018. Our Provident Fund has not been contributed to since November 2018. And at that time, there was no change on the political party funding or restrictions in terms of donations. But we are not saying we're not accepting that. Rather, what we are saying is that it is one of the contributing factors. But further to that, we are saying there is nothing that comes from the leadership that seems to suggest that, indeed, even though there are challenges, there is something that the leadership is trying to pull. And from all the promises that we have received from the leadership on a number of meetings we have had, none of those have been met. And to us, it simply means that really the leadership is not really committed in addressing these matters. To tell you that, the president spoke on the January 8th. He spoke to South Africans. He told South Africa that this matter is being attended to. But since January 8th rally, nothing has been coming from the leadership of the ANC until we then ourselves then said, look, TG, we really need to meet with you because there are issues that are still outstanding. In fact, all our issues are still outstanding since our last meeting. And you had not called us, you have not come forward to say, this is how we're dealing with this matter. Even the president himself has not done anything tangible, even after we're... Yes.
Sorry to jump in, but you have actually been very patient because refusing to down tools for many months. But this week things changed. Could you just give me the status of ANC staffers? Are all ANC staffers at Luthuli House not working and have not been working since Monday? Give me an update.
We met as the general staff members, all members of the ANC who are staffers who are paid by Luthuli House. We took a decision that we are going to down tools or we are going to stay away from going to work. And this reason was not because we feel that it's a nice thing to do, but we took this decision forced by circumstances. One, our members have not received their salaries for over 3 months, and therefore they can't afford transportation to go to work. And they can't be forced or be expected to go to work because they do not have means to go to work. Secondly, we took this decision because when we met with the TG, nothing was tangible for us to say to members, for this reason, we can continue with work. And then members took a decision to say, look, There is nothing substantive that's coming forward. Even the last NEC meeting, instead of dealing with this matter, it referred it to the national officials, and the national officials have done nothing about this matter. And it is the second reason why we said, look, we are going to stay away from going to work until at least all our outstanding salaries are paid.
All right,
and
so
all these other matters can be dealt with at the long-term plan.
So as it stands now, how many staff are actually showing up for work at Luthuli House? Are you saying that there are no office staff, the people who are going to help put together the elective conference planning, for example? I mean, are things actually grinding to a halt in the ANC?
Look, to our understanding, we're not expecting any member of staff to be at work. If anyone is at work, it will be out of their own willingness. It will be out of their own preparedness to betray a cause of all staff. If anyone is working, it will mean that individual has taken a conscious decision that they'll continue working despite the conditions. Maybe it will be because someone is paying them to continue doing the work, because we are not paid. I mean, even provincial secretaries and regional secretaries of the ANC, in my view, they're supposed to be on a stay-away like ourselves because they are affected by this matter.
Currently, how many of you, sorry to jump in, currently how many of you are involved in the stay-away?
It's all staff members that are paid by Luthuli House. That is the team that is in Luthuli House or based in Luthuli House, including all staff members who are paid by Luthuli House but based in provinces.
Roughly how many people is that?
We're looking at plus minus 184.
All right. Now, that is very serious, and we know that the ANC NEC has been meeting yesterday and today. There's a Lekgotla this weekend. Have you had any word from those meetings? You did say that the last NEC meeting there was nothing. It was handed over to the General Office. But have you had any word since this meeting began? Are you able to make any presentation? Have you sent any communique?
We have made a request through the Office of the General Manager, Comrade Phoebe Potgieter, that she does a presentation on our behalf to the NEC, or at least request the officials to table the matter or put the matter as part of the agenda of the NEC. Up to this moment, we have not received any official report to say whether the matter was dealt with or not by the NEC. And we hope that the NEC will take time and deal with this matter, not as a side issue, but as a critical matter that affects the functioning of the ANC. Because, like you said, you are right when you're saying us not going to work will affect the conferences that are planned. There are a lot of administrative processes that are run by this team that is not working. Even if you were to say some members decide to go and work, but the large number of ANC employees, if they are not at work, trust me, there is a lot of ANC work that would not be able to proceed.
And are you prepared to stay away until this matter is resolved? We have seen threats of stayaways resolved through promises to deal, a lot of trust, on behalf of the staff, with promises to try and resolve the problems in the past?
Look, if it means we must take this to the streets, we will take it to the streets. And if it means we must march to the union buildings to go and raise our issues with the government, to say, please talk to our organization, talk to our employer to deal with our issues, we will do that. If it means we must go and picket and protest outside the ANC offices in all the provinces, we will do that. But we have not arrived at that decision. And if we do arrive at that decision, we will also ask members of the ANC to understand, one, that we're not doing this because we're enjoying it. We're doing this because we are suffering. Our children can't go to school. We're doing this because we don't have food in our own households. We're doing this because our policies and everything else is suspended. Our credit is tainted. We're doing this because our own well-being is actually affected by this situation. And that is why we'll even call members of the ANC to pledge solidarity with ourselves. Join us when we go on a mass action. Even leaders of the ANC who are affected by this situation would like to invite them to join us and actually lead this process to show that the ANC still cares, even though other individuals may not care about their own stuff in the movement, but some members of the ANC still do care. And I can guarantee that they'll join us if we make that call.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that update. ANC Staff Representative Committee member Mandla Qwane explaining that staff at Luthuli House, over 180 people, have been not going into work this week over ongoing salary payment problems.